Happy 90th birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Ranger Mac.
Hi, I'm Ron. And I'm Greg. We're the Brothers Maine. We're here to remind the good people of Dodgeville that you can drive a little to save a lot at Maine Appliance. We're ready to deal.
That's right, Greg. The Brothers Maine want the folks in Dodgeville to know that we're very sympathetic with your plight. We realize the years of dealing with Bob McNeill can really get hectic.
You bet, Ron. We say, let the Brothers Maine simplify your life.
You can avoid the rat in Dodgeville. Come to Madison and shop at Maine Appliance.
Hold it.
Huh?
Don't you mean the rat race in Dodgeville? You said the rat in Dodgeville, not the rat race.
We're talking about Bob McNeill, right?
Right. Avoid the rat in Dodgeville.
Come to Madison.
Come visit us, the Brothers Maine.
And shop at Maine Appliance. How do you suppose a guy like Bob McNeill could father those two good-looking, talented, intelligent sons?
Darn, he's obviously not the father.
Greg, I think we're still on.
Ooh, right.
I don't know, nor do we care who fathered who in Dodgeville.
That's right, Ron. After all, we've got enough troubles of our own.
I'm Ron.
And I'm Greg.
We're the Brothers Maine.
And we're here in Madison to serve you. Hey, Bob, enjoy your evening.
If you can think of a good joke or two, stop and see us in Madison. Enjoy your evening.
And there's other whisperings going on around here. I don't know. I think it was Leo Hull. What was it? Go ahead, Leo.
I was saying I don't know why we're doing this at all.
Well, it's a night in honor of Bob McNeill.
Well, this poor old man can't defend himself. I mean, look at him there.
I don't know.
We've been saying bad things about Bob for 30 years.
I see your point. It might be too late to call it off. I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to go through with the roast, or do you want to call it off? Go through with it? Okay. What can I say about a guy who is not only intelligent, but also good-looking, charming, and fun to be with? A few words that come to mind are kind, generous, and witty. But enough about me. Tonight we are here to honor Mr. Bob McNeill. Hello and welcome. I'm Ron Denninger, and I'm going to be acting as your roast master for tonight's banquet.
One of the first stories that I was told was that Bob McNeill had said, everyone's a member of the Chamber of Commerce, they have business, but some people pay their dues. And I thought that that was really nice, and when I met Bob, I told him how much I'd enjoyed that, and it worked. About a week later, he sent in his dues.
Tonight we are here to honor a man whose ties in this area go way back. In the early 1830s, Bob's ancestors came to this area in covered wagons. In an old family album, I've seen pictures of those early McNeill settlers, and it's pretty obvious why those wagons were covered. Look at that face. That is the face of a man who is dedicated, a man who is enthusiastic, a man who is committed.
That's the face of a man who ought to be committed.
Shut up. Keep it short, Jim.
Thank you, Ron. It's the Easter season, and my mother always used to say that you can't say anything good about anyone. Don't say anything at all. Thank you.
that he did come to us from Hollandale, and there was some kind of a barter system. We ended up with Bob, and I'm not sure what they got down there, but it was always depriving some village of its idiot, I'm sure, and I think Hollandale got the short end of it out of that. They told us that he was a big asset, but I said they're off by 2 letters. And he was a pretty nice father when he came up here. He was walking his daughter to school one day, and everybody said, "This is really nice. This kind, gentle man taking his daughter to school." And little did they know they were both in the same grade. I don't know, Bob. I'm not going to have a battle of wits with you because I'd never pick on an unarmed man. So.
Well, Bob's quite a sportsman, you know. He likes to golf and fish and hunt and play cards. Poor Helen, she's down there at the store working. Bob's out having a big time. I kind of feel sorry for Helen. Then every year he's got to go to Canada for a week fishing. About eight guys. I just happen to be one of them. But Bob, when he goes every year, he comes out dressed in these here kind of sexy plaid pants. And after a few years, Helen was, gee, I wonder if I should be letting him go up there for a week, all those pretty little Indian maids running around the camp where we're at. So she sent him over to the hospital for a testosterone test. But I guess normal level is like 50 to 110. Well, Bob tested 15. So Helen says, well, I guess that's all right, let him go. Well, we get ready to go to Canada. Anyway, Bob crawled in the back of the van, and for 16 hours, the guy sits back there playing cards, teaching everybody the Hollandale rules and all that. And I think part of the rules are whenever the cards are in front of you, you deal, because he's doing that all the time. Oh, when they get up to Canada, why, Bob gets lost as soon as he gets away from the cab, and he can't find the cab, and he can't find his way back. For the first 4 or 5 days, they all send him out with somebody who knows a little bit about it, so they get him back. The last day, they sent Bob and I go together. And they push us off, and they all wave at us like they think they're never going to see us again. But we don't go too far. We don't let that cabin out of our sight. So we're back before dark. One day I was fishing with Bob, and he got hooked on one of these lever-rights. Well, that's a name. That's a snag. I got that name from Bob McNeill. You leave her right there. And Bob's what you call fairway friendly. You know, you've seen these here pros on TV. They take a slice out of the fairway a foot long and divot. Not Bob. He's never in a fairway. He might tear the rough up a little bit or a few limbs off the tree, but that's about it.
Well, I asked Ron, what should I say? Well, he said, just write down a few of Bob's shortcomings, and you'll be able to think of something. So I wrote down a few of them.
Bob and I have been friends for years. There's nothing that Bob wouldn't do for me. In fact, he's never done anything for me. Helen has always said that Bob has got a sixth sense. She just can't figure out what he did with the other 5.
I think she said sick.
The boys have always complained that Bob never does anything. He's rather pretty lazy around there. Helen does all the work. And the other day he was in the back room and he found this old lamp and he was dusting it off, and of course the genie popped out of it. Oh, gee. And the genie, of course, would give him the 3 wishes. And he says, oh, good. He says, I'll have a cold beer right now. And he got his beer. Well, he said, I better think about this a little more. And he said, I'd like to be on a Pacific island surrounded by beautiful girls. And he was on the Pacific Island, surrounded by beautiful girls. Then he thought, the third one, I'd like never to have to work again. And he ended up in Bob's Electric.
I don't know how many of you remember everybody talking about him being from Hollandale, Bob, that is. But I've been kind of picking my Uncle Ken Holt's brain a little bit about some of the days down in Hollandale when Ken was his principal and Ken was his coach and Ken was his teacher and that. And I was talking to him about Bob as a student. And he told me that one day Bob came up to him and he says, "Mr. Holt, why do I have the biggest feet of the kids in the 3rd grade? You know, is it because I'm a McNeill and all of us are big burly people?" And Ken looks at him and says, "No, Bob, I'm sorry to tell you, it's because you're 19 years old." One other little thing too, when Bob likes to hunt and fish. Well, we'll talk a little bit about hunting because I've seen some of the things that he's bagged, you know, as far as hunting goes and that. And he and Dave Ladd were out hunting for ducks one day. And Bob was not the greatest marksman in the world, but all of a sudden here they spotted this duck and Bob takes aim and he fires and boom, down goes the duck. And Bob goes running over to get it and he gets over there and all he could find was a frog. And Bob looks at Dave and Dave looks at Bob and Bob says, "Gee, that was one hell of a shot. You know, I knocked the feathers right off of it." And Dr. Grunow called Helen the other day and he said, "You know, Helen, I really don't like the way that Bob looks." And Helen says, "I don't either, but he is pretty good to the kids."
Well, you know, Bob went to the doctor one day, and you know he's a little hard of hearing, so he took Helen with him, and the doctor checked him all over and said, "Well, I really need some tests to tell. You know, we need some further blood tests, and I'd like to also get a stool sample and a urine sample, and if could, a semen sample." So Bob says, "Helen," he says, "what'd he say? What'd he say?" Helen says, "He said that we got to go to the lab," he said, "and you have to get a blood sample and leave him your shorts."
We were Bob and Helen's neighbors until they decided that they had to leave our little area. And the one thing that we remember most about Bob, and I don't know if it was Helen's doing or what, but it was his job to mow a yard. Now, mowing yard, most people do it during the daytime hours. Not Bob. I don't know if he had to golf first, or if he had to hunt first, or if he had to fish first, but it got to be around 9, quarter after 9, 9:30, and the lawnmower would start. Now, normally, you think the lawnmower might have headlights. Not this one. It was dark, and he would put it in the gear that moved the fastest. Luckily, she didn't have many flower gardens because we could not ever figure out how he knew where he was going or what yard he was mowing at the end. It would be well after 10 o'clock, and Bob would be mowing the yard. We enjoyed them as neighbors. You never knew just exactly what neighbor was going to do here, but we wish they were back. But that's what we remember most about Bob.
Okay, we have put together from last week when Bob was on the phone a list. We were doing a top 10 list of Bob on the phone, and it was going real well. And we got up to 20. Then we took it to the censors, and now we're down to 5. So this is Bob's 5 phone calls that came from past weeks. Bob's.
Is this Bobby Electric?
Yes, this is Mr. Electric.
Well, my voice just changed, and I got a leak in my washer.
Well, you got a leak in your washer? Well, it's your washer. You can do whatever you want in it.
Stop it, Bob, stop it.
Telephone.
Yeah, is Bob there?
Yeah, Bob's here.
Could I speak to him?
Yeah, you can talk to him.
Are you sure Bob's there?
Yeah, Bob here.
Is this Bob?
Yeah, Bob here.
Ah, never mind.
Bob's.
Yeah, Bob, my wife's very angry here. You gave her some vacuum cleaner bags here yesterday, and she's in the middle of cleaning right now and very upset. They don't fit. What do we do?
Well, just bring the old bag in and we'll figure it out. Bob's.
Yeah. My voice just changed again. And I'm looking in my oven. I'm in my oven right now, and I'm trying to warm up my lefse, and I can't see nothing in there. I can't see my lefse, my Romagrat, my Parliament buckle, all that stuff. I can't see it. Bob, what's going on? Could you tell me what's happened? I can't find anything in my oven.
Well, is it a Norwegian light bulb?
A Norwegian? No, I don't think it's Norwegian.
Oh, because they're usually not very bright. These are all true.
All true stories, all true stories.
And they're censored. These are the censored. The Bob's.
Yes, this is Dun and Bradstreet's. Is the owner there?
Yeah, just call the banks.
Well, you'll do anyway here. I need to verify the company name and address.
Okay, that'd be Bob's at North Beckett or Bequetty.
Could you spell that?
Sure, that's B-O-B-S and heavy on the B-S.
No. I mean Beckett, Bequetty, Beckett.
Yeah, North Bequetty, and it's N-O-R-T-H-B... Oh, never mind, just put down Main Street.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, Ron, when my dad was a practicing veterinarian, and when I was younger, I used to go on farm trips with him all over the place. And one time I got out of the car at the ranch and saw this jackass that was hooked up on the fence, and I started teasing him. Dad came over, reprimanded me, he said, "Bob, when that jackass dies, it's going to come back and haunt you." And I never believed Dad. But it's good to see Bob. Bob, you know, likes to hunt, and around the Holiday area. And then they went up to Sauk City. Got lost. He was hunting and looking, and 2 days he was lost. And he was starving. He was really starving. He didn't know what to do. He saw this bald eagle, and he shot it. And just as he took a couple bites out of the bald eagle, a couple DNR guys surprised him. Of course, they had to arrest him because he was killed an endangered species. At court, he pleaded, of course, his innocence and actually charges against him because he said he was dying of starvation. Well, of course, the judge let him off for the simple reason that he was a human being, was starving, and thought it was pretty good. A great story by Bob McNeill. But the judge's closing statement, he asked Bob, I would like you to tell me something before I let you go. I have never eaten a bald eagle, and not even plan on it. What did it really taste like? Bob said, well, it tasted like a cross between a whooping crane and a spotted owl.
Happy